Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, delivered a strong condemnation of Israel's recent strike on Doha, which tragically resulted in the death of 5 Hamas leaders and a Qatari security officer. Speaking with unequivocal clarity ahead of a pivotal Monday summit of Arab and Muslim foreign ministers, Sheikh Mohammed characterized the Israeli action as a continued violation of international law, human values, and diplomatic norms. His stern rebuke underscores the deep outrage felt within Qatar and the broader Arab and Muslim world regarding an incident that has not only targeted individuals but also breached the sovereign territory of a nation actively engaged in delicate diplomatic efforts. The phrasing continued violation suggests a pattern of behavior perceived as disregard for established international protocols, intensifying the gravity of the condemnation and highlighting a systematic grievance rather than an isolated event. This incident has dramatically heightened tension in an already volatile region, threatening to unravel fragile diplomatic initiatives. In his address, Sheikh Mohammed issued an urgent call to the international community, imploring them to abandon what he termed double standards and to instead impose concrete consequences on Israel for its action. This appeal is a powerful indictment of the perceived hypocrisy in international response to conflicts, where some nations are held to different accountability standards than others. The Qatari Prime Minister's insistence on imposing consequences reflects a desire for a more equitable application of international justice and a demand for tangible repercussions that could deter similar actions in the future. He unequivocally labeled the strike as state terrorism, a highly charged term that places the Israeli action within a framework of illegitimate and politically motivated violence perpetrated by a state actor. This designation is intended to provoke a strong moral and legal response from the global community, challenging the legitimacy of the strike and advocating for a unified front against such aggressive maneuvers. Despite the profound anger and the strong rhetoric, Sheikh Mohammed reaffirmed Qatar's unwavering commitment to mediating a ceasefire in the ongoing Gaza war. This commitment, he stated, would be pursued through continued cooperation with Egypt and the United States, indicating that even amidst heightened tension, diplomatic channels for peace remains a priority for Doha. This dual approach, strong condemnation coupled with continued engagement in mediation, highlights Qatar's complex role in regional diplomacy. As a key facilitator in negotiations involving Hamas, Israel, and other international actors, Qatar recognized the critical importance of maintaining communication pathways, even when its own sovereignty is violated. This steadfastness in the face of adversity underscores Qatar's strategic importance as a diplomatic bridge in the Middle East, balancing its national interests with its broader regional responsibilities towards peace and stability. The ongoing partnership with Egypt and the US demonstrate a continued, albeit strained, collaborative effort to find a resolution to the deeply entrenched conflict in Gaza. The Israeli strike on Doha, targeting Hamas leaders, represents a significant escalation of hostilities beyond the immediate conflict zone of Gaza. Qatar, known for its role as a diplomatic conduit and host to various political factions, including Hamas Political Bureau, has long walked a delicate tightrope in regional affairs. The strike on its capital not only breached Qatari sovereignty but also directly challenged its status as a neutral mediator. The presence of Hamas leader in Doha has been a known, albeit often controversial, aspect of Qatar's foreign policy, justified by Doha as a necessary component of its mediation efforts. The killing of a Qatari security officers during the incident adds another layer of gravity, transforming a targeted assassination into an act that directly impacts the security force of the host nation. This incident could fundamentally alter the dynamic of Qatar's diplomatic relationship and its future role in regional peace processes, potentially making it more difficult to host sensitive negotiations. The accusation of continued violation of international law, human values, and diplomatic norms by Sheikh Mohammed is a comprehensive indictment. International law, particularly principle of states' sovereignty and non-interference in internal affairs, is clearly invoked. The violation of human values speaks to the moral dimension of targeting individuals in a neutral territory, irrespective of their affiliation, and the loss of life, including that of Qatari officers. Diplomatic norms refers to the established conventions and codices that govern interactions between states, which were reportedly disregarded by Israel's action. This broad condemnation seeks to frame the Israeli strike as not just an aggressive act, but one that fundamentally undermines the principle upon which international relations are built, creating a dangerous precedent for future interactions between states. The call to the international community to stop applying double standards resonates deeply within many parts of the developing world and among nations that feel marginalized by the existing global power structure. It highlights a widespread perceptions that powerful states and their allies are often exempt from the same level of condemnation or punitive action that is applied to other actors. By urging for consequences on Israel's action, Qatar is advocating for concrete measure, potentially including sanctions, diplomatic isolations, or other forms of international pressure to ensure accountability. This is not merely rhetorical, it is a demand for a tangible shift in international policy that would demonstrate a commitment to equal justice and a consistent enforcement of international law for all nations, regardless of their geopolitical alliance or military strength. Labeling the strike as state terrorism is a powerful and provocative move. While the definition of terrorism can be contentious, particularly when applied to state action, Sheikh Mohammed's use of the term aims to delegitimize the Israeli operation entirely. It implies that the strike was not a legitimate act of self-defense or counter-terrorism, but rather a politically motivated act of violence designed to intimidate or destabilize. This framing seeks to rally international opinion against Israel by portraying its action as morally reprehensible and legally indefensible, akin to the action of non-state terrorist groups. Such strong language is designed to elicit a robust response from global bodies and individual nations, urging them to view the incident through a critical lens and to consider imposing sanctions or other form of diplomatic pressure. Qatar's continued commitment to mediating a ceasefire in Gaza, despite this direct affront, speaks volume about its strategic long-term goals and its recognition of the urgent humanitarian situation. The partnership with Egypt and the US in these mediation efforts is crucial. Egypt, sharing a border with Gaza, has always been a key player in any peace process. The US, as Israel's primary ally, holds significant influence. By maintaining these channels, Qatar positions itself as an indispensable actor in the peace process, demonstrating a resolve that transcends immediate grievance. This approach aimed to prevent the recent strike from completely derailing the fragile ceasefire talks, which are critical for alleviating the suffering in Gaza and preventing a broader regional conflagration. It showcases a pragmatic approach to diplomacy, where the ultimate goal of peace in Gaza takes precedence over the immediate desire for retribution or complete disengagement. The Monday summit of Arab and Muslim foreign ministry becomes even more critical in the wake of the Doha strike. This gathering provides a platform for regional leaders to coordinate their response to their incident and to articulate a unified position on the Gaza conflict and Israel actions. The collective voice of these nations could carry significant weight in international forums, potentially leading to stronger resolutions or coordinated diplomatic pressure. The summit will likely focus on strategies to protect regional sovereignty, ensure accountability for actions perceived as violations of international law, and consolidate efforts to secure a lasting ceasefire in Gaza. The discussion will undoubtedly be shaped by the recent events in Doha, potentially hardening positions and leading to a more assertive collective stance from the Arab and Muslim world. Ultimately, the Israeli strikes on Doha has opened a new, dangerous chapter in regional tension. It directly challenged Qatar's role as a mediator, intensified the already complex dynamics of the Gaza war, and provoked a strong reaction from the Arab and Muslim world. Sheikh Mohammed's firm condemnation, coupled with his call for international accountability and his unwavering commitment to peace mediation, highlights the multifaceted challenges facing diplomacy in the Middle East. The incident served as a stark reminder of the fragile nature of peace and the constant threat of escalation in a region perpetually on edge, demanding careful navigation and robust international engagement to prevent further destabilization. That's all for me for today. If you like the video presentation and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now. And we will continue to build this show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.